guys. How you doing this morning? Well, I got a couple of things to talk about this morning. A few things happened this week. I'll start off with about 3 days ago. I was observing out in the forestry area coming off the wilderness side. It was about, let's say between 6:30, 7 o'clock a.m. And as I was gazing out there was a certain area, and of course it's all covered with snow, what appeared to look like a large shadow, a dark shadow. As I kept observing it, I thought to myself, it's a peculiar place for a shadow to show up. There was no reasoning for a shadow. It wasn't moving, but although I could make out a silhouette. Then, as I was observing it, I noticed it was covered in dark hair, very large and massive. Appeared to be a male. I went back to go grab my cam. When I came back, it was gone. There you go. That's how evasive they are and how elusive. And they will do this. They're chameleons of the forest. And of course he sat there and appeared to look like a shadow. And they'll actually freeze. They won't move. So it's hard to determine on what you're looking at unless you know exactly what you're trying to look at and what you're trying to find and figure out what it is. And so therefore we know now there was no shadow. It was one of the resident hybrids around here, come back from the wilderness area. And that was something good to see. I'm glad there's still some are still around. Yesterday I got a little vocalization. Lasted maybe about a minute or two, and that was it. So a lot of the less activity that's going on with these squatches is for the simple reason it's what the environment is right now. And I wanted to go out today, but winds are too gusty. Snow dropped again last night. Caught me off guard. I was up late, I didn't see nothing drop, and I woke up and I'm all covered in snow again. It's the way it goes up here. Anyhow, but there's something else I wanted you to listen to. I'm going to explain to you. Now, I talked to you before, and I mentioned it quite a few times, that I'm not a UFOologist. Although I'm not ignorant about UFOs. I know what I need to know. And so, anyway, what I'm trying to get at is the other night, which would have been Friday, this past Friday night, it was about between 9 and 10 p.m. And I was just looking around, observing outside what was going on, whatever, and not much was happening. And I was just sitting back and relaxed a little bit, and stuff was out looking in the rear part of the house, where you could see the property from the rear. And as she was viewing outside, she heard something out there walking around. And she told me she heard something out there walking around. And I just kind of dismissed it for a few seconds. And then I thought to myself, maybe she did hear something, and I went to my rear door, up to my rear porch, and it was pretty quiet at that moment. But then all of a sudden, the area I was viewing at was extremely bright, as if you had a full moon. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, there is no damn full moon tonight. I remember seeing the moon before it turned completely dark. It was less than a half a moon. Well, that's not going to light up an area that bright. And this brightness I seen was coming through the pine trees that were right in front of me. That would have been coming from the west. And then I kept observing this object, and I knew right there and then it's too close. It's too close to the ground. It has nothing to do with the moon at all. It couldn't have been. As I kept observing this object, I noticed it was about 60 feet from the surface, or the ground. It was shaped like an orb. Yet I've seen these particular types before in other parts of the Sierras, the same kind of craft. But it was a white orb. I would say probably 50 feet in circumference. So basically what that means is, say from north to south, 50 feet, and west to east, 50 feet. So you got a circumference of a circle, and there you go. It's a very large craft. And it was illuminating a really bright white light. Then I could see various of colors of different other lights that were flashing within it and from the outside of it. I knew right there and then this was no doubt a UFO. Now I start thinking to myself, being 60 feet hovering from the ground up, it was just behind the pine line trees right in here. And these trees average anywhere from 50, 60, 70, 80 feet tall, some even taller. So it was hiding behind these group of trees, but the light was so illuminating through it that it just lit that part of the forest up, see? So anyway, I kept thinking to myself, they were so close to the surface of the ground. And when it was up there, it was hovering. And of course, like always, they don't make a sound. I mean, nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, this object is pretty freaking close. And why is it, what's it doing over by my place? As if I was being watched. And like I said, that kind of crap doesn't make me nervous, all right? I'm not like most people. I just observe, check it out, see what's happening. And I started thinking, if they were that close to the ground, you see, because what I'm getting at is because I have to work like a detective when you do research, because you have to piece evidence together, whatever evidence that you can grasp a hold of. And I start thinking to myself, 60 feet above the ground, just adjacent it to my place, and then just a few minutes before I saw the craft, Stephanie tells me something's walking outside. I wonder, and right now I'm still in that stage, I wonder if ETs were out there walking around that came from that craft. And as I observed this craft for about a good 2 minutes, and then it just disappeared. I mean, it didn't go up, didn't go off to the left, didn't go off to the right. The only thing I could figure, it went straight back in reverse, shot out. Which these crafts can't do that. Ours can't. I mean, hell, if we had a craft that could go and reverse that quick from a sit still, it would literally rip your body in half. That's no joke. Our bodies couldn't take that kind of force. But I got a funny suspicion that I had some ETs on the ground. Then I started thinking, why? What are they doing here? I mean, am I being watched? Are these guys watching me, or are they watching whatever residents live up in this area? Are they up to sinister things? Could be possible. Could they have been out wanting to say, maybe they wanted to abduct somebody? Yeah, what I'm basically talking about, possibly grays. Grays are known for this, for human abduction and doing all these cockamamie experiments. Now, I don't believe they were up here observing the hybrids that are up here. I'm not going to go for that one. It's a possibility. I already feel they already know they're here. That's pretty obvious to me. No, they're up to something else here. You see, because since I've been here, of last May of 22, I myself and Stephanie, we have already seen 4 or 5 of these UFOs in this area alone. Now, you know, I've told you before, I know they go after the gold. That's understandable. But they're up to something else, and I'm trying to figure it out. Whatever it is, I don't like it too much. It's kind of leaning on the sinister side. I don't know, you know, I don't like that. That was way too close to home, so to speak. So what I'm trying to say, even though I'm not a UFOologist, and I'm not no dumbass when it comes to UFOs or ETs, but I will say this. This time, it got my attention big time. And I mean, it's got my attention straight up. I'm going to investigate in this as I do my other investigations, because I got to find out what the hell's going on up here. Is another reason why they're up here so often. And they're not afraid to say, here I am. I mean, but you have to understand this, like that night when I was observing what I was seeing, there's nobody out. I mean, when it turns dark up here, you know, wherever residents are up here, we're usually indoors, okay? So it's not like we have people that just go around stargazing, okay? That's not what it is. So, and I believe they know this factor, and they slip in on us, you know. But like I said, you know, the only reason I'm telling you this because I think you should know. It's been bothering the hell out of me for 2 days, and I just had to get it out of my system. So I thought I'd let you know of what I've been experiencing up here and exactly what's going on. I also was thinking, I'm not too far from Lassen, and I'm kind of thinking maybe there's something with this volcano that they have some kind of connection to. It's a very good possibility. They seem to be drawn in this area, period. These are questions that need to be answered. And the kind of researcher I am, I will get to the bottom of this. So, anyway, I just wanted to let you all know what the hell was going on up here, okay? And I'm telling you, many years I've been doing this, I have not seen this much activity up here. Usually you might see this kind of activity a lot more if you're in a vicinity, say, or a radius of an area where you're near some type of a military base, preferably like an Air Force base. And the reason I'm saying that is because when me and G was on the other side of the Sierras, we were out for years, and in that space area, was not too far from Bill's Air Force Base. And if anybody's familiar with Bill's Air Force Base, that is what they call a Strategic Air Command. That's the home of the SR-71 Blackbird. And then I just heard they're in the makings of a predecessor coming out of the Blackbird, the Blackbird 72. Is what I understand. So that I can understand why we seen UFOs. Okay, here it's a big mystery still, but for some reason I don't know. I keep getting this gut feeling is something sinister has to do with this, but I'm going to keep my eye on things. Anyway, guys, enjoy your day, the rest of it, and have a good rest of the weekend, and I will catch you again. Anything else comes up, I will be sure to let you know. Hey, you guys take care. Have a good one. I'll catch you later. Bye.